Hi everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Today I will be showing you how to wash dishes from hand. There's no shame in not knowing how to wash dishes. Perhaps no one taught you, so I will teach you today how to relax while also washing dishes. So first we are going to put on gloves and wet the sponge and put on soap. Squeeze until it's all sudsy. First we are going to wash this cup, and we're just going to make sure we get every little inch of it. Rinse, 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 rinse. Okay. Rinse, 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 rinse. Sometimes it takes a while to make sure all the soapy suds are out. Now we put it away in the rack. We are on to the next cup. This is what I use to make my smoothies in. And the ridges at the top where the lid goes can be quite difficult to get all of the residue out. However, I do my best. Sometimes it stains a little bit, but that's okay. Now we're going to make sure to rinse it all out. Rinse, 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 and again, rinse, 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 and rinse. Make sure it's all out, put aside. Now we're moving on to this cup and the lid first. We're going to scrub, 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 and rinse, 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 rinse. And now we have this metal straw, which we need a tiny little cleaning brush. Poke, poke. Okay, so then we're gonna go in the straw and just clean very vigorously on the outside as well, and in from the other side, just making sure we get all the way through before we rinse, 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 rinse. And now comb our eyebrows and our mustache down. Make sure that's in order. Poke, 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 poke. Make sure we still have our sense of touch. we put aside for later. Now we have this cup, which we are also going to wash out with the sponge. Now my hands are small enough where they fit inside these cups. You can also clean these cups with a brush, but it's just easier for me to use the sponge so I don't have to go under the sink and get my other brush. So you know the drill. We are going to rinse, rinse, rinse. Make sure all the soap is out. We don't want to leave any soap behind. We want to make sure that we make ourselves or our roommate or our spouse proud, whoever we might be doing the dishes for. So it's important to scrub very firmly, especially for any dishes that have dried residue or food on them. Make sure to scrub really hard and make sure to get every little speck, just so whoever we might live with won't get upset that we didn't clean it well enough. We don't want to get scolded. We don't want to have to go back and do it again. We don't want the other person to have to do it again. So it's best just to do it right the first time. And again, make ourselves or the other person proud. Okay, now we are moving on to this pot. Just kidding, we're going to set that aside for later and go into this bowl. We're just going to scrub, 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 and rinse, 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 rinse. Okay, we're going to put it aside after we examine it. Looks good. Put it aside for later. And now we're moving on to this pot, I think. Yep. We're going to scrub, 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 scrub. Make sure we get it all. Scrub, 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 scrub. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Okay. And we are going to rinse, 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 rinse. Okay. We're going to examine it. Perfect. Put in the rack. And I'm gonna have this knife to slice you. Slice, slice, slice. That was pretty aggressive. Okay, moving on. We're going to clean. Clean, clean, clean. And rinse. 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 Make sure it's all nice and clean. And moving on to the mini cutting board. We scrub, 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 scrub. Scrub, 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 scrub. Scrub, scrub. And rinse. 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 Okay, that one was pretty easy. Moving on to another plate. We must do a good job on the plates. Again, we don't want anyone disappointed in us. So we're going to scrub, 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 and the other side. I still have some residue from some stickers. I need to remove that someday when I remember to do so. Rinse, rinse, rinse. And we're going to inspect it. Look at that perfectly clean plate. We can put it away. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. We are doing so great. Okay, now we are moving on to this small pan that I like to make my eggs in. We are scrubbing, scrubbing, scrubbing. Scrubbing, scrubbing, scrubbing. Okay, we can even scrub the handle. That's not always necessary, but I think it's good just to make sure everything is clean. As you will see, I do have some specks in this pan. I think the top layer is coming off a little bit. I'd love to get a little cast iron pan. It's probably better for me. It doesn't have all the chemicals that these ones probably have, but I'll get it eventually. Okay, moving on to this spatula. And these spatulas can be pretty tricky to get everything off. Let's see if we were able to do it in the first round. No, 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 we did not. So we're gonna go back and make sure to get the rest of that residue off so we don't get smacked with it by someone else. Yes, we have to make sure it's all nice and clean. I don't know, still not up to the other person's standards. Or our own, who knows? What do you think? I think we should just do the best that we can and make sure it's all off so we have a nice clean spatula in the morning. Okay, I think that's good. Yes, very good. Okay, now we are using this little ring that goes on the top of my smoothie cup. We're gonna clean very quickly and rinse, 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 rinse. Okay, put aside. And we're going to take our spoon and clean, 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 clean. Clean, 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 clean. Clean, 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 clean. Okay, and now we are going to look at this new cheese grater. It's nice and fresh. We're going to go against the edges so we don't cut up the sponge. We're going to blot this side as well. This is brand new, but I like to clean it from the store because, you know, germs. We're going to rinse and inspect and show off and put away. Okay, now we have this fork. And forks can be tricky because it's very easy for food to get stuck and dried on in the middle of those spaces. So we have to make sure we really get in there and remove all the residue because We want to be proud of ourselves. We want to do an excellent job. So we're going to go back and make sure it's really clean. And it's looking good, so we can put away. We're almost done. This can be a little tricky to clean, but it's not too bad. Just gonna blot in there and clean the edges, the outside. Rinse, and put aside. We have this fork again. Let's make sure we really get it nice and clean. Clean. Rinse. Okay, and spoons are pretty easy except for when you turn them around and they splash you in the face. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, good. And this little knife. We are going to be careful and clean the knife safely. And put aside. This is very important, okay? We're going to rinse it, squeeze, because we don't want to put a wet sponge up because it will get moldy, and that's gross. So if you do that, stop doing that. Everyone else in your house will be happy, and if they don't, if they do it the other way, well, tell them this is the correct way. They might think, oh, well, I don't have to put water and soap on the sponge again. But you can tell them that takes 1 second, so it's perfectly fine. I don't always do this, but today I'm going to scrub out the sink because it's also important to keep our sink nice and clean. As you will see at the end, my sink does have some stains as well as some hard water residue, which is pretty annoying because it makes my sink look dingy when it's not. So if anyone knows how to get rid of that, please let me know. I've tried baking soda and some other things, but that didn't work. I'm not sure why they put a dark sink in. That was a very silly idea, but I digress. We are going to continue to clean. Now we need to come back to the sink. Yep. Not be distracted. Okay. We're going to wash all the suds away. All the soap away. Wash. Splash. Okay, that looks good. Now we are going to wipe everything down. Yes, so satisfying. I love this part. Men, bonus points if you wipe and clean the whole counter down with some cleaning spray. Your wife will be so happy and the kitchen will smell nice and clean. Okay, we're gonna get another towel and wipe right there. Particularly gets pretty wet, so I like to clean that down. Wipe all the water away. Get in all the little edges. Okay, put that little tray back, clean the bottom of the soap dispenser, put it back. Okay, look at that clean sink that doesn't look that clean. Thank you for joining me, and I hope now you know how to clean the dishes.